Yes, friends, last time I discussed 10 hidden factors which builders don't talk about and agents would never understand that actually make or break your decisions for building or buying a house. One must see that video before buying a house. Now, people ask me more questions, and I came up with another 10 things which are very, very crucial when you're making a decision to buy or build a house. So here are those 10 without going into any more detail. Number one, they always say location, 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 but a lot of people don't understand what location means. Location not only means that you have good school system, you have access of highways, but also location means that is it a one-off house somebody's building on a street by demolishing an existing building or in a nicer, newer neighborhood. That makes a huge difference because location, yes, it's very important to make sure that your kids go into good school. It is very important that you have a good tax system because a lot of towns have very high taxes, some towns have low taxes. If you have good schools, then you gotta also see the other important factor, and that is taxes, because you have to pay taxes every year. And then the fees, and I'm going to talk about that in the 10th, number 10 again. But location also means that you have a nicer neighborhood where you are feeling comfortable growing your family. So there's huge difference when you have a location where you have just one off house. It could be the same size house, but a same size house in a newer neighborhood which somebody has developed, put infrastructure, will cost a lot more than house which is one off, because then builder does not have to develop that land, does not have to put new infrastructure, does not have to really bring the sidewalk, the streets, and all the other amenities. So it's a big difference. So you cannot just compare a 3,000 square feet house on street A versus a 3,000 square feet on a newer and fully developed neighborhood. You just can't do that. So, and then also you cannot compare one town versus another, where one town does not have access of all the highways, does not have a great school system, does not have very good tax rate. So you have to really look at many factors when you're looking at location, and it's not just schools. Second thing is method of construction. So many houses are built, and they are houses. You have to see what are the materials of construction and what is the method of construction. Most of the homes in the United States are wooden homes, but then they have some brickwork, masonry work. They also have different kind of specialized siding. They have lots of other bells and whistles, which makes a big difference in the cost. For example, I use a siding nobody else used in the entire New England, and that is actually double Dutch lap siding, which is popular in California and some other places. And for here, this is very custom. It has 3 dimensions and it's wider. It costs a lot more, but it makes it a lot more beautiful. So I buy that, and this also differentiate. The other thing is windows, and then we will talk windows in energy efficiency as well. But how many windows you would put, what kind of windows they are, what color they are, that makes all the difference in the cost. So when you're looking at the house, you're not just looking at a box, but you're looking at how this box is built, whether this has under garage or attached garage, whether it has walkout basement or not walkout basement, because that's all important. The other thing which is very, very important and has become more important in recent years than before, that's energy conservation. So there are certain codes you have to meet, but those are the minimum codes by law. But then if you are a great builder, then you're definitely doing much more than the minimum code. So you can use, for example, bats. So 10 years ago, 20 years ago, a house built 20 years ago and today is totally different because the code is different. Code means minimum requirement is different. 10, 15 years ago, you could build a 2x4 wall. Now it has to be a 2x6 wall, which means it has to have a thicker insulation, hence more money, but hence more energy conservation. Likewise, there was leakage in the house that you could have 10 years ago, 10% leakage. Now you can't even have 3% leakage. So there are codes you have to meet, and then also now you have to have continuous airflow before you do it. You need to have electrical vehicle You need to have solar panel availability, space availability for solar panel. There are a lot of things you have to do today which you did not have to do before. So the house prices are not changing because of raw material prices. No doubt raw material and labor prices have gone tremendously up, but there are new trends and new codes you have to meet, and those trends and codes are not there just to make your cost up, but they're there to save energy and lower your bills. So your operation cost has to be looked at. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later. And then you got to also see how this basement is built and how big is the basement. A lot of people don't understand. They only look at the square footage and they don't look at the volume, and they don't look at how the basement is built. I always tell people that if you really want to see the longevity of the house and how the house is constructed, you must go into the basement and see how big the basement is and how is the basement built. If basement is underground fully and it is pretty smaller, then it means that the builder cost is much lower. So I always, for example, one way or the other, I always build walkout basement, even if the grade does not allow, but there are other methods which cost money, but I build walkout basement. In many cases, my houses are built with all above ground walkout basement, and in some cases, partial walkout basement. My basements are a lot bigger than other typical builder because my footprint is bigger, and I am not kind of using just the 4-bedroom size, but I'm also providing a flow, which we're going to talk in the flow, where you have double-story foyer and all that. So you require a certain footprint to do that. So you got to see the size of the basement, the location of the basement, the flow of the basement, and then whether the basement is finished or not finished, and what kind of insulation that has, because that affects the entire house too. If the basement is not insulated or not insulated fully, and if it does not have certain flow, then that impact your overall utility of the basement and of course the overall price. And then you got to see how the flow, the design flow of the house. A lot of builders don't have ability, don't have engineering skills, and don't have that vision to create a flow. So they'll go to an architect and they will get their, a lot of architects, by the way, I don't know if you know, in Massachusetts and many other states, to build a single family home, residential home, you don't need a certified architect. Any draftsman who call himself or herself an architect can design a house which you can submit. So be very aware of that, and then make sure that your house has the right flow. So right flow means that where is the kitchen, where is the family room, the living room, the dining room. Like for example, I always provide in-laws living section in the first floor of the house. So you might ask, well, I do build decent sized homes, but a lot of time I have seen in decent sized home, they have a study room, but they don't have any in-laws section, and they don't have a full bathroom. They have a half bathroom on the first floor for that reason. But I provide a full bathroom, which is Jack and Jill. It does two things. A, it provides a bathroom for the guests who are visiting. B, it actually also provides you a full shower and access to the study room or the bedroom that would basically have all the bells and whistles. It will have the legal windows, the smoke detector, the closet, and full bathroom access. So if you have in-laws coming in, and even if you didn't plan for it, you have a place on the first floor, so you don't have to go to the second floor. You can enjoy your second floor privacy. And likewise, that how the flow goes from the front of the house when you enter into the front door or from the garage door, and how the windows are providing both the light and air ventilation. All those things matter, and especially I also even look at Vastu. Vastu has a lot of benefits too, but again, all those things somebody has to think through and design, and you can only think through and design if you have design capability and if you have also vision to build those needs. And then of course, kitchen and bath. Everybody wants good kitchen, good bath, but they don't realize that what really make a good kitchen a great kitchen, and then what would be, a lot of time, a lot of builders I've seen, they just put plastic tubs everywhere, whereas we try to provide a lot of tile showers, and even shower floors are tile, but we make sure that we put rubber underneath, and we do proper insulation all around the bathroom, and then also proper leakage prevention in case of any water splashing or whatnot, and then also what kind of cabinetry is used in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, and then what is the height of those cabinets, what kind of lighting is provided, what kind of tiles are in the bathroom. So all those things one has to look at and should put in the specs. And then of course, volume versus square footage. A lot of time our friends only look at square foot. They say, oh, what is the per square foot price? They don't look at the height of different sections. For example, the height of the basement is very important. Very few people really look at it or appreciate. So that's very important. What is the height? It's not just the 8 feet. Even few inches above 8 feet makes a huge difference. But a lot of time people only have 7 feet basement height. Then you go into the first floor, and then what is the height of the first floor? What is the height of the second floor? And especially your main bedrooms. So we provide, a lot of time 10 to 12 feet height for at least the largest of the master bedroom. So those things need to be looked at. All those things cost money. It really costs money. And unfortunately, people don't look at it. And then even the attic space, how's the attic space? A lot of time when you see those dormers, what people do is they build a room with dormers that look beautiful from outside, but reality is inside it has all kind of corners, not very good utility, because they're using the attic space into the second floor. So they save the entire floor, and people don't realize it, they don't appreciate it, because they did not really look at how big the attic was built. So and then the other thing is exterior elevation. A lot of time exterior elevations, people don't have ability to choose. But if you have ability to choose, you should design exterior elevation. A lot of time architects don't get a lot of feedback, and they just design whatever they feel like. But you got to really specify and design the exterior elevation and what kind of material is used in different section of the exterior, and how the lighting and walkways are provided. The next thing is really interior decoration and woodwork. That really is related to the vision. There's a lots and lots of beautiful woodworks available nowadays, and different innovative way of doing beautiful woodworks. And I wish I could give you more examples in this short time, but for that you have to come visit one of my houses and see the woodwork and appreciate it. Or you can go to my website, vmax-realty.com. V like Victor, max like maximum, vmax-realty, realty.com. We will post that underneath this video. And then the last but not least, the operation cost. Like I was talking in the beginning, operation cost means what's your taxes, what is the tax rate, what is the utility rates, what are the fees, like these sewer fees and water fees, and what are the rules to use the water and sewer, and what is the electric. For example, I'm building in the towns luckily where they're producing their own electricity, hence the electricity rate is far lower. The other thing is I'm very heavily involved in our town, and there's a lot to say about keeping the tax rate low while the service is high. We have one of the best school system in Shrewsbury, Mass, but then our taxes are really lower than anybody in the area. We are about $13 per thousand, whereas the other towns like Westboro and Southboro are like twice more than our rate. And then of course the utility prices are much lower if you are producing your own utility. So all these factors you have to think about, because you are buying the house, that is the fixed cost. But then you should also think about the operating cost, the ongoing cost. I'm telling you, the operating cost could be $10,000 a year, $50,000 a year for a same size house. I'm talking about 3,400 square feet house. So it's very, very important that you don't just look at the house price, which is the fixed price, but you look at the longevity of the house and long-term operability and operation cost of the house, which is comprised of utility cost, tax rate, type of construction, and what kind of construction that is, and how far you live from public transportation and hospital and schools, and and how far you are, what drive you have from work, all those things, and the access to the highways and everything. So there are definitely more we can discuss, but till next time, just enjoy this and have a great house in future if you're in the market to buy.